I have done this. I feel like, of course it was a lot different. I'm sorry, y'all. So I am changing, as you guys can see. Before I was doing just vlogs, and I was really just going with what I felt like I could do, with the time that I had. And I really didn't make a lot of videos. And the videos that I did make, it was all vlogs or voiceovers, or I did one with my piano. But never in a style like this. Never have I ever tried to do a podcast. I feel like this is more my lane. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this a lot more, and so with me enjoying it a lot more, I'm gonna be able to be more consistent, prayerfully. So, pray for me and pray with me. And hopefully this is going to, be lit. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. Yeah, yeah. You hear that? You hear that? So what y'all just heard was a little applause from my soundboard. Yeah, so that's how I'm coming this time. So, as you guys know, it's me, Jessie P. If you don't know me, I've done so many introduction videos. I don't even want to even go through reintroducing myself again. But just for a brief summary of, who I am and how I roll and what I do, I guess, outside of doing this. I am a mother. Boom, boom. No, I need it. Oh, there we go. Yes, yes, yes. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of a 2-year-old little toddler that I love so dearly. His name is Caden. And you're going to hear me talk about him a lot because he is my entire world. I had him during the pandemic, and yeah, it was just a life-changing experience. It grew me a lot, a whole lot. And so, yeah, I'm excited to talk about the growth. But yeah, that's my baby. Other than that, I am a wife. I've been married for 5 years. I got married when I was 25 years old. So I was just a little bitty itty bitty baby when I've been married for 5 years. We got married after college. We met in college. I married my college sweetheart, as some would say. Um we met at Alabama A&M, and we started dating, and we dated for like a few years. We started dating in 2014. We got married in 2018. So we dated for 4 years. Then we got married, been married ever since. And that's my guy. The whole reason why this podcast is even up and running and has even gotten to this point is because he heard me, and I just walk around the house all the time, running my mouth, bumping my gums about how I want to do this, how I want to start this up, how I want to create this, how I want to, this is my space and I want to get into this area, and this is what I want to do, and this is the next thing I want to do. He heard me and delivered in a way that I wasn't even prepared to do for my own self. And so that's how we got here. So, yeah, of course, I married up, you know. But yeah, that's my guy. And so, other than that, other than my child, my husband, um, I'm also an engineer. Dun, dun, dun. I keep making the noise because I don't have I gotta record that noise because I don't have the dun, dun. Yeah, that's not okay. Yeah, so I am an engineer for everybody who knows me. So yeah, clap it up. I'm a black woman in STEM. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody love that. Everybody love that. I've been working with my company for the last 5 years. I think, yeah, for the last 5 years. I love it. That's what gets I love that. That's my day job, and I love it. But I also love this because it's like a total different side of me. What I am at work and who I am at work is totally different from this side that I plan to show here on my podcast. So it's very exciting to start this up and actually do this and get this all up and running. So yeah, I work as an engineer. Actually, I'm an engineering manager these days. So let me do that. Yay! I'm an engineering manager these days. So go crazy. I won't be talking a lot about my job because this is a release. This is an area where I come to have fun and enjoy myself. So yeah, I won't be talking much about that place. But anyways, um yeah, so yeah, this is what my channel is gonna be about. It's gonna be about jokes, having fun, being relatable, just enjoying myself. And so my main thing though that I do want to do at least once an episode is do like a advice column, like a Jesse Jesse Jules type of situation, And if you guys follow me on any social media, you know that I always post those Jesse Jules because I just feel like as as I have revelations in my own personal life, I want to share those because if I can save you from going through any type of trials and tribulations by giving you any type of foresight from something that I've already been through, I definitely want to offer that if I can. So, I always drop like Jesse Jules, and Jesse Jules is always like just things that come to me that resonate with me, and I just share them, and it's always like a quote or like any type of advice that I could give. So, for on my channel, on my podcast, I always want to have that. Like, I always want to have a Jesse Jules segment. So, dun, 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 dun. That's the button. Maybe I should do it like that. What about that? That's crazy. What y'all think? Y'all, if it's given, leave it in the comment. Just drop me a comment. If it's not given, be like, sis, nah, do something else on that one. I'm gonna do something else on that one. Okay. All right. So I went out and I got a story for tonight. I went out and found a situation that can go for tonight's podcast. But in the future, I want you guys to email me or DM me or something like that, and then I could use your um situations or whatever you're going through, and then I can just give you a Jesse Jewel if I have one that you want that you like, and if you like the Jesse Jewel, then you take it and you can incorporate it in your life. If you don't, who cares? I mean, I'm just a regular person. I don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here, just dropping the knowledge that I can, and it's always to lighten your day. It's never to change your life. If I can change your life, that's great. But it's always intended to brighten your day in the situation. Okay, so just never be like, oh, she doesn't have a degree in this and she isn't qualified. What makes her qualified to do nothing? Nothing. I'm just a girl with a mic. That's it. Okay, who want to have some fun? That's all. All right, so for tonight's Jesse Jules segment, it's entitled "Spouse Can No Longer Tolerate Wife's Lifestyle." That's so funny. That is so funny because when I was reading this, it really resonated with me. So I was like, I gotta bring this to the pod. Like this is a great way to open the pod. So, spouse can no longer tolerate wife's lifestyle. So, dear Jesse, is it normal to be disgusted by your wife's lack of concern about her appearance and her belongings? My wife drives a $50,000 car that never gets washed and is so filled with stuff that seldom can she take even one passenger. Her side of the bedroom is just as bad. She never makes the bed and can no longer get to her dresser because there are so many clothes piled in front of it. It's the same down the hall. In addition to plowing things aside and piling them in a spare room, her messes take over the house. She also doesn't take care of herself. She often doesn't shower for days. Her clothes are frumpy, and I can no longer count how many pounds she keeps adding. It is embarrassing. Never it is embarrassing for me, especially. Excuse me, y'all. I got glasses. I need to put them on. I got blurry. I know. These 30 somethings do something to you know. Okay, so let me, what was that? Uh, it is embarrassing for me, especially when she proclaims she will never be concerned with her weight again. I feel it's disrespectful to me when she says those things, and I can't let this continue. I am supposed to get used to it? It doesn't seem right. Most of her time is spent listening to or reading about politics. Some would be okay, but she has dived so far down the self righteous rabbit hole, she has no other perspective. She can't work. She believes she's some sort of activist because she forwards memes on Facebook. It amazes me that she can see neighbors who are older than she is have full-time careers and take care of themselves and their things, and yet she still believes she's normal and even judges others. She does a few things for the church where she can portray an upstanding image, and it's really important to her that they see her in that way. I think she has a chemical imbalance of some sort and needs help. But how do I even start? If it wasn't so complicated, I'll move out. By not doing so, is my complacency making things worse? Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness, y'all. When I read that, first off, I cracked up laughing. I cracked up laughing because, baby, I am one of those girls. I'm one of those girls. I don't clean out my car until somebody about to get in there. When I know somebody about to get in there, I'll be like, okay, I'm expecting for somebody to get in there. Let me make sure I get this car cleaned out. Or like my husband's supposed to be coming, getting in the car with me, riding with me, or my mom is coming in town this weekend actually, and I know I need to clean the car out. Like, I have to know somebody's coming with me in order for me to clean my car out. And my car will get piled up as will be so high, it'll be up by the seat. I am one of those girls. I am bad, bad, bad when it comes to cleaning out my car. I'm bad, bad, bad when it comes to cleaning, period. But I do try to keep things manageable. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to, be able to manage my house, but at the same time, cleaning ain't never been my strong point. That has never been my favorite activity or something that I've loved to do or wanted to do. So when I read this, I just cracked up laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing to see a spouse like very upset and, just very bent all out of shape about the cleanliness of his wife. Now, it was funny on that level. Now, a deeper level that you want to pull, if y'all want to peel this onion back a little bit more though, I definitely think like when you start to see things like that, like when somebody is not taking care of themselves, when you see that somebody is, especially if they are typically the type of person that is big on hygiene and they big on keeping themselves up and keeping themselves clean, and I'm not talking about when you first met them, they were this way, and this was like the facade that they presented to you as a clean person. But if you know for sure, if you know them to be clean, and then sporadically, spontaneously, all of a sudden, they start to lose that level of cleanliness, I think that you should definitely, I feel like first and foremost, check their mental health. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a telltale sign, when someone who is typically very clean and very used to having a neat working space or a neat environment altogether. And then you start to see like, oh, it's not as neat as it was anymore, and not even not as neat now, it's junky. And is staying that way for an extended period of time, and that is not in that person's character, and that person does not function in dysfunction or in an unclean environment, then I definitely think first and foremost you need to check and make sure everything mentally is going good, and make sure like they're not in a funk, basically, or depressed, or as I like to call it, going through the blues. They got the blues, you know what I'm saying? And they're not feeling it, like that. That should definitely be the first thing that you check on, especially if it's your spouse. Especially if it's your spouse. I can remember um even when I was looking when I first ran across this article, it just brought me back to a time after I had my son. Um, and I didn't really go through a lot because my husband, he was great. He was like he was a great father. He wanted to be a father to his son, so like he was gonna do his duties regardless. It didn't matter. So that helped a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. But still, like just with going through like your hormones and you being really having a chemical imbalance after having a child, going through all of that, like it just had me just in a funk. Like I just didn't feel like myself, and I felt like I wasn't as clean. Now, let me clarify. I've never been the tidiest of people either. Like I've never been one of those people. I've like organized chaos is me. You know what I'm saying? Like I will remember that I put my keys on the back of the toilet in the morning, but don't move them. You know what I'm saying? Even though yeah, they wasn't supposed to be there, and yeah, I just laid them back there when I ran in from work because I was in a big rush and I was in a tight. But in the morning when I'm about to leave and I'm like, oh, where my keys at? I'm gonna remember, oh, you dropped them on the back of the toilet when you came in yesterday. You was in a rush. So like I'm one of those type of people. I can function quite well in chaos, because I don't know. That's just how my mind works. So like I've never been the type of person that's been real big on like being clean and tidy and all those type of things. So like I don't think that my room having clothes in it wasn't a telltale sign for my husband to be like, oh my goodness, my wife has the blues today because she did not pick up her clothes. Yeah, my husband, he'll have to look a little deeper than that because he know his wife. But I just thought that that was just so funny. My suggestion, I would say to him, if you are in this situation and you have a spouse or a girlfriend or a concubine, I'm just joking. I do too much. I do too much. I ain't to say that. But anyways, if you have a significant other and you guys live together and you feel like they aren't performing in any area, that's cleanliness, whether that's the cleanliness in the car, the cleanliness in the house, the cleanliness in the body, the hygiene, in any area. They don't have to be cleanliness. It could be communication. It could be you don't like the way whatever it is that you are feeling. If you are, especially if you are married, communication is key. Communication is key. I don't know if that went with that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it right there for now. Like that's what I would tell anybody, especially if this is going to be your partner that you're with for the rest of your life. You have to talk to through that. You have to tell them like, "Listen, I love you, baby. Let me tell you something. I've noticed this thing that's going on, whatever X, Y, and Z is that's going on. This thing that you doing, I don't like it. I can't get with it because of X, Y, and Z. Now, what can we do as a couple to help you? Because I want you to be the best you, regardless of if you around me or if you not. And I don't want you to be not taking showers or you to be stinky or you to be junky or you to be dirty or all that type of stuff. Your dirtiness is causing me anxiety. The walls closing in on me because you so messy. You can't say it like that because you married. But I would definitely have that conversation. Like that's the ground basis of it. Tell them like, listen, stuff done changed. Now, after you say that, how they receive it, you gotta get that space. You gotta allow room for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? They might not take that well because they might feel like, especially if they just had a child, they might feel like they giving all that they can in that area or that aspect of their life, or maybe they got a new job, or they got a child, or y'all got a new house, or y'all just moved, or she's doing everything that she can to support you because you did something new, or you taking on a new thing. Then um you gotta allow space for their reaction to be whatever their reaction is going to be, because they could come out the bag and be like, "Oh no, boo boo, I'm doing all of this in this area. That's why everything else is falling off. That's why I can't clean my car. That's why I can't clean the room. That's why I can't take a shower in days." I don't know about that, but I don't know these young kids. I don't know, but you can, I mean, they need to say you and that might be their response, and if that's their response, then now you need to come back with, okay, so what can I do to alleviate some of your responsibilities so that you can go back to focusing on what you got to focus on to make sure that you good. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got to come in as this, and you need to be prepared for that. Like, once you open that door for that conversation, be ready to leave with some type of responsibility, taking some type of responsibility on, because that's probably what it is. They are have gotten so, well, if a whole, I don't know. I don't. Let me go back to the thing, because if this the man said all she do is scroll on Facebook all day and try to be a fake activist. Now hold on. Now now don't write in about your wife like that. First off, I like to say. I like to say that. Don't call in. Don't say that about your woman. But it says that she had, okay. Most of her time is spent listening to and reading about politics. And that's one thing about it. See, this world, and maybe that's what I would suggest that you do. You should get her away from this TV and everything that's going on in this world. Because if you get caught up in front of that news, you will stay there all day, that news and all this stuff, because every news cycle is meant to entice you. It's meant to draw you in. It's meant to bring you in. So if you stay in front of that news cycle, if you stay in front of that TV all day and just watch that news go through that cycle all day long, oh, it's gonna mess with your mind after so long. So if I was you, before I even have the conversation, I would have the conversation outside of the house, doing some type of activity that both of you guys like to do together. That's where I would start. And then after that, I would bring up the conversation. But you need to bring up the conversation with as much grace and as much kindness, and in the best, like, all the communication skills that you have tucked away, all the communication tips that you have tucked away, you need to make sure you utilize them during this conversation, because you never know where this could lead. You don't know what the deeper issue is behind it, or if there is a deeper issue behind it. But what I do know is that talking about things like this, telling somebody that they're falling short in an area, is, I mean, people do have negative feelings about that. Anybody, when you tell anybody anything like that's gonna be hard to take. Nobody is gonna just be like, okay, I'm dirty. Sure. He thinks I'm stinky. Sure. Let me go just freshen up. Nobody's gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if this is her lifestyle and what she does. And I'm sure she's gotten comfortable, and I'm sure she feels like what she is doing is okay. So if that is the case, then yeah, you gonna have to make sure that your approach is kind, is graceful, very gentle, and mild mannered, and make sure you choose your words wisely. That would be my advice when you start to have that conversation. And allow room, make space for, once she hears it, once your significant other hears the advice, make space for them to release the way that they want to release. You're telling them something that you've been thinking about for the last months, not her. So give her a minute. Let her digest it. Let her say what she got to say. And you just know that the initial reaction is never the best reaction. I'm not gonna say that. Let me break that. Let me take that back. The initial reaction is not always the best reaction. So you know your woman, you know your spouse, you know your significant other. Allow them the space to cut up if they need to cut up. If they don't need to cut up, and you know that they're gonna be level headed once you say it, then sure, then you do the way you gotta do it. But I'm just saying, allow them a minute. Okay, after you've done that, and then from that conversation, take away points where you can help them, because it's probably a timing issue. It's probably a mental issue. It's no telling what it is. Even if it is a chemical imbalance, you are the spouse. So you are about to have to go through this journey with them. So you might as well get ready to get buckled in, buckle yourself in and get ready to go on this journey with them, because you are the spouse. Like, I would never say divorce or leave. You gonna have to figure out how to work through this. So the more gentle that you are in your approach, and the more that you think through your wording and what you say, the better off you'll be. So that'll be my thing. Just have a conversation with them. Let them know. Look, what you doing? I ain't rocking with that. I ain't rocking with what you doing. I feel like you need to fix it. If you can't fix it, what can I do to help you fix it? Definitely come with that. What can I do to help you fix this issue? And then go from there. I'm sure she's gonna be with it. And take her from in front of that TV. That's on you. That's on you. You gotta get her something else to do. Get her from in front of that TV. Let her go do something else. Create her hobby. Find out something she good at, something that she been talking about. Get her something else. Let her know that watching that news and sticking in front of that TV all day, every day, unless you plan on being an analyst and going to school for this and actually getting money for it, and you're just looking at the way that they talk and you're trying to figure out ideas about that. Unless that's what you're doing, you should not be sitting in front of the TV all day, every day. Turn your notifications on CNN on your phone and just get the news updates as they come. Don't sit in front of that TV all day and then jump on Facebook and then do all of this and do all of this and do all of this. Because I'm telling you now, the people you preaching to on Facebook, they done heard it too. They done heard the same news you done heard. So it's no need to go on there vent to them people like they don't know what's going on. If you want to do something about it, you know what to do to try to change it. Talk to the lawmakers or do whatever you got to do. Try to figure out some legit change. Ain't no need to sit in front of that TV all day, getting yourself all worked up, getting your Facebook followers all worked up every time they jump on their Facebook because they follow you. Now they got to think about it 24/7. You know what I'm saying? People. It's about light and love these days. It's all about light and love. Don't know, people ain't trying to hear that no more. So that's what I say. Just talk to her, let her know, get her another hobby. Talk to her, let her know what you feeling about the way that she don't clean, and the way that she does. She's junky and she's not clean, and she's not the woman that you first fell in love with. And all right, and I think that concludes Jessie's Juice. So how'd y'all like that? I hope y'all really enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? That's just one aspect of what I'm bringing to the channel this year. You know what I'm saying? This is how the podcast is going to be. I want to start doing live. I want to go live and talk to y'all live sometimes. And, just all in all. And even, every episode or every pod isn't going to be about, these advice columns. Sometimes it's going to be the current events and what's going on in the news and what's the latest and greatest and all those type of things and how I feel about all of that. But I love these advice columns. I just think that they are just, very interesting. I like to read them and, give my take on them. So, like I said before, if you would like a Jessie Jewel, if you like for me to talk about a situation that's maybe personal to you or your friends, or you want to ask for a friend or a family member or whatever, listen, like I said before, I'm just a girl with a mic. But I would love to talk about it and go through with it, and you could drop your comments on how you feel it should be handled, and we could rebuttal and I respond, and we can start a whole family and community of just people who like to have fun, and it's all about light, love, and laughter, y'all, for real. Like, we're going in 2024, and that's definitely the three principles that we standing on this year. That's light, love, and laughter, for real. And just, staying locked in, staying focused. All right, y'all. So I think that is it. I think we're at 30 minutes now. I'm sure I'm gonna chop this up and do what I gotta do with it and whatever. But I'm probably gonna chop this episode up. But this is episode 1. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Yeah, y'all like that, right? Y'all like that, right? Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Please, please, please. It means a lot to me. Subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I have, the longer I can do this. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. It means the world to me. And this is going to be, a great year for us, a great 2024. We're going to start off the podcast. This is a new family, a new community, a new era. We about to go in this thing. We killing it in 2024. You know what I'm saying? All things light, laughter, and love. Those the three things. So y'all have a good night. And that's it for me. Toodles!